Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirits. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you for tuning in once again for another action-packed show this week, as this week we will be discussing the topic of Spirit is Everywhere. Also in this week's show we have the channeling from Spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel in order for Spirit to bring their communications and wisdom through. And then later on in today's show we have got this week's energy forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through the course of this week ahead. So, without further ado, let's crack on. So, as I say, this week's show topic is Spirit is Everywhere. So what I'm referring to with this, I'm talking about the energies in every single place you visit, whether you're inside a room, outside a room, wherever you are. Spirit and energy is everywhere. Now, most of you that are listening to this will have a keen interest in the paranormal, spirit, and also self-help matters. And so you'll be wanting to know, how can I connect with it? How can I understand energy? How can I interact with it? So I'm going to give you a few little helping hands to hopefully help you look at this subject with a bit more clarity and depth when you're out and about. So before you go anywhere, before you even leave your building, your home, preparation is key to linking in with energy. Now, those of you that have an understanding of meditating, saying affirmational prayers, this technique will come in very handy for you, because preparing yourself to connect with spirit and frequencies is the ultimate, I would say, key to the door, so to speak. So you need to be having a regular practice where you're quietening the mind, sitting in the power or meditating. And before you go into that state of meditation, I would recommend that you say either a prayer or set your intentions with what you're wanting to achieve. So for example, when I go out on these investigations, I ask to connect to spirit energy, any frequencies, any spirit that want to tell their story, that come in the name of love, light, peace, truth, and harmony. So I'm already setting those boundaries that only those that vibrate at a certain frequency can have that interaction with me. Now, I know that my gatekeeper, my spirit guide, will also filter out any untoward energies that are trying to blend with me as I'm out and about. If I didn't do that, then I would be able to communicate with all other manner of spirit entities and beings, not necessarily all of them being of pleasant nature. And so you have to be very careful, I would say, before you go out in any investigation work or wherever you are, that you are setting these safe boundaries, because yes, it might be fun whilst you're there in that moment, connecting and communicating with these entities, these beings, these spirits. But 9 times out of 10, you'll walk away from that environment and you'll bring them back with you, and you'll have some form of attachment, and it will play on your mind. It will make you feel a little bit low, a little bit depressed, and it will try all the tricks in the book to keep your vibration at a certain rate so they can feed off of your, shall we say, negative thinking, negative energy there. So just be aware, just be mindful of this before you go on any exploration in terms of energy or spirit. Setting those intentions there before you even leave your home is paramount, okay? And obviously quietening your mind there and understanding where you're at. And when I say understanding where you're at, I'm referring to how you feel emotionally, what you're feeling physically in your physical body, what thoughts are passing through your mind. All these things will have what I would describe, I call this process as a baseline. So it will give you a marker to what to work from, so that you know that anything above those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts, or beneath them aren't necessarily your vibration, your energy, your information. So it will be an interaction with energy or spirit that you'll be picking up on. So just be aware of that. That's a wonderful technique to adopt into your practice, again, before you even leave your home to set out and do these energy explorations. As I say, intention is a key role in this. Obviously, in my experience, you have to ask spirit. They will gladly work with you. Energy will gladly work with you. Your spirit guides will work with you. But they can only do so much because of your free will. They can't impinge on your free will. But if you ask for it, then that gives them that permission to reach out and give you that experience, give you that interaction that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to ask. Asking the universe, asking spirit, asking your guides, and then just relax into that after you've done that, and just be open to receiving the messages, the information there as well. Now, I've already mentioned protection as well plays a paramount role in this, and we've already set those intentions before you go. But what I always do, I always place myself in an energetic ball of light, whatever color comes to mind. And again, I ask the universe to be placed in this ball. I also imagine that I'm placed inside a mirror ball of reflective, protective energy, so that anything of a negative vibration will be instantly reflected back to where it originated from. And then I ask to be placed inside an energetic conch shell. The conch shells with the spikes on. But I always ask that I vibrate the vibration of love, light, peace, truth, and harmony, healing, wisdom, and evidential information wherever I go. And that's in all directions of time. And that's what I do. And it gives you that protection. It also gives you that ability to work with your sensitivity, so you're not completely shut off and blocked. But you can rest assured that that will give you adequate protection before you connect in with any energy when you're out and about. Now, obviously, diet plays a massive role in this. I'm not just talking about food here. I'm talking about media, the things that you invest your time and energy and emotions into, maybe film, maybe TV, maybe newspapers, could be online content such as social media. All these things will have an impact on your vibration. So again, monitoring all of these elements and making sure that you're living a balanced life and you're not investing or attaching your energy to any one thing will actually improve your sensitivity when you're out on an energy exploration. So it's very much down to personal choice with these things. But yeah, please do, once you're mindful of it, you'll actually be quite surprised on where you're giving your energy or power to. And when you do realize that and you remove those things from your life, your life will feel a lot different. You'll feel a lot more sharper. You'll be more observant. You'll see the things that are actually the truth vibrations are actually happening in and around you, which will in turn allow you to connect to frequency, energy, and have this strengthened spirit communication there. Now, what I say is with energy, with spirit, like I say, it's always there. It's always around us. And it's only when we've made those alterations with our own vibration, because in actual fact, we're an instrument. We're a transmitter and receiver of information. So it's only when we've fine-tuned ourselves that we can pick up on these vibrational frequencies. And in my experience, spirit always have a story to share with you. So are you listening? Are you listening when they're telling you? Many times, I'm sure you all would have experienced this, where you feel like you've got a stomach ache or something like that, or maybe part of your body aches where it didn't before. Well, in my experience, that is spirit telling you a story. So question that. Why is my left leg hurting at this moment in time? And explore that. Question it in your mind. Even call out verbally if you must. And you'll get a feeling for why you're feeling that. And you'll get you'll 9 times out of 10, there will be a spirit communicator wanting to tell their story through you. And they will use the path of least resistance. So if you're particularly very gifted where it comes to being an empath and picking up on emotions and feeling very tearful or very sad or whatever, that emotion they're wanting to convey to you, they will use that. If your gift is clairvoyant, so seeing images in your mind, playing out before you, then the spirit communicator will use that to tell their story. And the reason, more times often than not, that they will be telling you their story, if you have that level of respect whilst you're questioning them and while you're questioning why you're experiencing these things, then what you will find is you'll get more level of detail. And this will be a form of releasement, a form of healing for that spiritual being. Imagine being trapped in the never, never. You're going to want to tell somebody your story, aren't you? You're going to want to release yourself of those shackles, those burdens that have kept you trapped in that vibrational, shall we say, walking in the mud, treading in the water there. You're going to want to share your story. And so in doing that, 9 times out of 10, it releases that entity, that spirit there from that existence, because they're being given that sort of opportunity to release those old belief systems that they once had to that location, therefore raising their consciousness and awareness, their vibration, allowing them to naturally move into their next reality. So there's a lot of that's happening. So again, are you listening to your thoughts, your emotions, the feelings, the senses, all of our bodily senses, sight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, and all of that? Spirit will use all of that in order to tell their story. So while you're out and about, just again, observe any changes that are occurring to you. Like I say as well, in this process, it is very wise for you to show respect at all times for the energy, for the spirit energy, even if you're not necessarily picking anything up in that moment. As soon as you walk into an environment or wherever you happen to be, always walk in with love, with respect. Set those healthy boundaries, like I was stating at the beginning of this conversation. And then just watch. When you show that level of respect and introduce yourself to the energy in that environment and spirit, you'll be surprised at how much interaction you will get back. To begin with, it will start very subtly, but just trust that. Again, keep questioning it. Keep observing your body. Keep observing your spiritual gifts if you're aware of them, or, just keep observing, and they will be your answers. And so showing that level of respect will amplify your experience. Like I say, setting boundaries is very important. So what you're willing and what you're not willing to encounter or accept in your explanation, in your, shall we say, energetic exploration, then obviously that will give you an understanding of positive and negative energy. Most of you that have gone to locations will have experienced both of these polarities. Obviously, negative energy makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel tense. It can, in fact, turn you a little bit aggressive, even though you're not aggressive as a person, never have been. And so it's good to have people around you just to observe the way that you're communicating, the way that you're behaving. And then they too can recognize any subtle changes, like you being a little bit sharp when you're being spoken to, a little bit aggressive. Maybe your language has changed. The way that you deliver words have changed. This is not necessarily you. It could be the influence that you're picking up in the ether there, the energy around you. So it's good to always have people around you if you can, so that they can also be that level of protection, that safeguarding that I would say that that is very much needed in these situations. But always question what information you're receiving. Like I say, energy does keep moving, it keeps moving. And so if you can keep that energy moving by, even if it stops telling its story, ask another question and you'll find that energy will start to move again. When I say move, I'm talking about you'll experience visions. You may smell smells, taste flavors. You may even feel a condition on your physical body. Your role really is to interact with that energy, keeping it moving as quickly as possible. And when you do that, you'll find that you'll extract a lot more information, and the experience that you'll be basically experiencing in that moment will be more sort of full of information for you to share with whatever medium that you're working with. If you're doing this just as if you're out and about, or if you're recording, if you're filming, then you'll notice that using these suggestions I'm saying to you today will actually help the process and bring forward more information for you there as well. And obviously, showing gratitude when you're out in any location, that is a massive bonus. I mean, when you walk in with that joy, that happiness there, and that contentment, obviously that is going to reflect in your environment, and so you're going to get that back in some respect from the energy in that environment. So showing that level of gratitude and respect at all times will, I would say, would almost guarantee you an interaction with spirit. They'll be intrigued by you for a start, with you walking in with a high vibrational attitude and energy. So always introduce yourself to the environment, even initially when you walk into that environment and you're not necessarily feeling anything, you're not seeing or experiencing anything. By just showing up with your vibration, again, showing that love and gratitude in that situation will actually attract frequency, spirit beings, energy towards you, because they're going to be intrigued by your vibration, and they'll feel a lot more safe and calm to blend their energy with yours in order to bring these communications through, whichever form they see fit to use. Again, like I said, spirit will use the path of least resistance. So it's very much down to us as an individual to pay attention to what we are experiencing. So observing the very subtleties of changes within our energetic and physical body. These can be, like I say, very subtle. So it's only after a period of time when you get to know yourself as an individual and know that anything other than what you normally would experience isn't your energy. So that would be evidential information for you to report back to whoever you're with. So enjoying the experience as well. Obviously, it's when you go out on these explorations, you never know what you're going to get. And so by showing that level of gratitude and joy, enjoying the present moment, because one energetic experience can change in a heartbeat, and you can move into a different energy flow entirely. So enjoy and appreciate the amount of effort that it takes, not only from your perspective, as I've suggested to you some of the procedures to use when you're going out on these investigations, energy work, whatever you want to call it there, but also the level of energy that it requires for a spirit being, or the energy within that environment, in order to make themselves present to you. So they are always trying to connect, and it's a case of us meeting their vibration in the middle and amplifying our own spiritual connections there that will give us more of a detailed encounter and experience there. So enjoy every single moment, and it can be very exhilarating, as I'm sure most of you that are listening will agree there. The adrenaline rush that you experience as well, that level of excitement, that wow factor, particularly when you're seeing things with your physical eyes and you're hearing direct communications in the form of sound or tapping or knocking, that can be very exciting. So always show that level of appreciation and enjoy every moment upon your investigation, and that will just amplify the process, and you'll have more energetic experiences coming in to be grateful for once you start doing that. But what I wanted also to say about this, after your energetic experience, remember to shut down. Remember to shut down your energy. Now, what am I talking about when I'm saying this? All this working with energy, what you will find is you'll feel a little bit tired. For one, you'll feel hungry. You'll need to be rehydrated, so make sure that you have plenty of food. Make sure you have drinks and provisions with you when you go out on energy explorations. And just make sure that you're closing down your sensitivity. So I would say, again, it's down to intention. So what I personally do is I call in Archangel Michael, the Band of Mercy, to draw in. And I ask them to cut all negative cords of attachment and to clean, cleanse and heal my vibration in all directions of time. What I then do is I stamp my feet. I ask to be grounded. I stamp my feet, I clap my hands, and I start and look around my surroundings, focusing on all of my physical senses, and I'm analyzing all the depth of color or the details. I'm listening to the sounds, and basically I'm pulling myself back into my present moment. Because as I'm sure you're all aware, when we have heightened our vibration, we're in a different frequency band. So in many respects, we're ignoring our present moment reality because we're so focused on all of these elements, all these facets of our sensitivity. So after an experience, paranormal experience or, paranormal investigation, definitely grounding, get something to eat as well. That will help with your grounding. That will bring you back into your present. You'll start to be more alert. You'll start to feel more yourself there as well. So that is an important thing at the end there. And if you feel the need to, say an affirmational prayer of gratitude, of thanks, and for protection for all those that have been involved in the paranormal investigation. And you'll find that this will also make you all feel energized, you'll feel healed, and you won't be going home with any sluggish feelings, any sort of rogue thoughts in your mind that you wouldn't necessarily normally think. Because you've removed and asked for all those lower vibrations, those attachments to be removed from you. So what I want to share with you as well, some of you may know, some of you may not know, that I've just released a TV show that I've been involved with. And this TV show is called Walking with Spirit. So basically the TV show is about literally what we're talking about today, connecting with energy and spiritual vibrations, spirit communicators in a variety of environments that you would not necessarily associate with the paranormal. And so on this show, I walk in various locations and I keep the energy moving throughout. And basically I'm reporting to the camera what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, the direct communications that I'm getting with the spirit beings that are there. And so it was a pleasure to film and to do, and I feel very privileged to have gone to these locations. And again, it was about timing as well, because upon filming the show, we had to arrive there where it was at its most quiet. So it wasn't necessarily that overrun with people. And there was a reason for that. So that there was no sort of over interactions with the people's energy, if you know what I mean. So I'm purely focusing on the energy of the land, the location there as well. So I went to some fantastic locations where I did this. And what I was finding upon doing this show is every land, every different location had a different story, different energetic story, different spirit communicators were there as well. But there was a few commonalities with various locations. One was that there was a lot of spirit telling their story in order to have a soul rescue experience so that they could upshift their vibration and move on with their spiritual journey on their soul's expansion, shall we say. And then there was another commonality. There was what I was picking up was energetic portals in a couple of the locations that we filmed at. Now, some of them were in the most unlikely of places. I mean, you would never imagine there would be an energetic portal there. But along with my spirit guides, they were drawing my attention to them. And upon filming, I was describing the experience, what I was encountering, why I felt that was there. And with the instruction of my spirit guides, a few of them were closed down for the safety of all involved, because it was like an energetic highway where in one of the cases there were, shall we say, entities that have never had a physical body. They've never been here in the physical realm, yet there was extracting fear-based energy from the surrounding energies and environment there, and they was using it as a means of existing. So they were coming in, taking the energy and going out using this portal, which was a really unusual encounter to go and experience that. So those were some of the things. And also it was interesting, different timelines within the locations that were being played out to me as well. There was one location where I was shown with my physical eyes, and again with my third eye, of some coach and horses that were racing down. They didn't look like they was from our timeline. They was racing down a field, and I could see this very clearly with my physical eyes, yet I knew it wasn't there, if that makes sense. So that was very unusual. I was given all the information about that experience that I encountered with that, and got some interaction with it, so that I had some clarity on why I was experiencing that alternate timeline there. So that was interesting. And obviously as well, not obviously, but with these locations, I was picking up on energy trails. So whether we're conscious of it or not, all of us leaves an energy trail wherever we happen to go. And so even if you're still living, you leave an energy trail. If you're past, you leave an energy trail as well. And so I was picking up on those, and I was picking up predominantly a lot of characters that have made their transition into the spirit realm, and they were coming back on these energy trails that they'd left when they were in their physical body. And they particularly enjoyed certain locations that much that these energy trails, they came back onto them to have that repeat experience of that location, because it brought them lots of joy, lots of peace and healing whilst they was in their physical body. So that was very, very interesting there to experience all of those things during the TV show. Again, it's called Walking with Spirit. So if you're wanting to watch that episode or those episodes, then please head over to, if you have a Roku box, a Roku TV, you need the Ghost Planet Network app or channel on Roku TV. And my show, look for the show called Walking with Spirit, and you'll be able to watch what I'm describing to you, some of the antics that I experienced during these episodes there. But I found it fascinating experience to actually be part of and be involved with. I felt really privileged. And again, you'll see if you do go over to watch that, the level of respect and gratitude that I do show to those communicators as I'm having a conversation and dialogue with. And you'll hear that dialogue as I'm relaying it to you in real time as I'm having that experience myself. So there's a lot of beautiful encounters on there if you are interested in going over there and having a look. But yeah, just to illustrate my point today, that spirit is everywhere. And indeed it is. You know, you can be walking into town, you can be walking in a field where you think that nothing's ever occurred in that field. If you're sensitive enough, if you're paying attention enough, you will pick up on it. And that narrative, that story will be played out to you in the path of least resistance with your sensitivity. So the next time you're out, just observe these little subtle changes. You'll be surprised on what you are picking up without even realizing it. And it's only when we give it our time, our attention, that we become aware of these different energetic worlds that are constantly evolving and operating in concert with our physical reality. Well, now we're moving into the next segment of the show, which is this week's channeling from the world of spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their communications through and their wisdoms through. Now, this is, as you already know, you've heard me say it millions of times now, but this is my favorite section of the show, as I'm unaware of what's coming through, and this is the point where I get to listen to it for the first time. So I'm very intrigued by what's going to come through. as always. But channeling in itself is something that I feel very passionate about. And I've just started learning my students in my spiritual development class the process of channeling and how to get used to blending with those energies and to trust the experience and know that channeling is not just about being in that moment. It's a lifestyle choice. You've got to make changes and tweaks within your life to get more high vibrational, shall we say, beings coming through so that they have that clear vessel, that alignment vibrationally to connect with. So that's what I've been doing with some of my students recently, and they're all brilliant at it. They're all bringing through some fantastic evidential information as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's channeling from the world of spirit.
Hello, we'd like to talk to you about numerous subjects. One of those subjects is the abundance of love being available to every single one of you. It doesn't matter what area of life you're from, what you've been through within your moments. What we say to you is there's always, at any one given moment, an abundance of love for you to embrace. Now this love is the glue that binds everything, all of creation together. And in fact, the energies within this frequency will put you into alignment, allowing you to connect with your true authentic self. And all of those healing codes, all of those ingredients that you need to become in alignment with are always readily available to you. In order for you to connect with it, you have to step outside of yourself. You have to, in other words, step outside your own way. And I'm sure you've heard that from many practitioners before. We say to you, when you step out of your own way and have that belief that you are all connected to the greater good, then all of those shackles, all of those energetic vibrations that aren't serving you at all will simply be overrun by this vibration of love and healing. And with that vibration, you can return to your divinity and your true essence of who you are. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling when you connect with this vibration, as not only is this beautiful healing occurring within your physicality, but also your mental state will change. The inspirations will come in. You may want to recognize as well that when you connect with these higher source frequencies, again reminding you that these are available to every single one of you. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your journey's been, once you make this conscious decision to change your belief systems and connect with the true essence of who you are, you'll begin to notice that a lot of things will start to change in your reality, your present moment reality. One of those things is that you will seem a lot younger than what you did, appearance-wise. Your skin will start to feel and look a little bit younger than what you've experienced before. You will have more of an energy about you, more of a get up and go. Again, not assigning with the belief system of age and aging. You will connect with this vibrancy of energy that will push beyond any of those limitations. And so by focusing on this beautiful unconditional love and energy around you, you will start to embody some of these traits. Love doesn't say no. Love doesn't say no, but yes. Once you've done this, love simply says yes. And everything flows in a love state vibration. Anything that doesn't do that isn't fully anchored in the vibration of love. And so you have to analyze these thinking patterns, these belief systems behind those judgments. You see, judgment in itself is a blockage of love. So removing those vibrations, removing those belief systems and thoughts will instantly align you with this vibration of love, which instantly has a flow state reality where everything comes and goes with ease and grace. It's a beautiful place to be in, and we just wanted to remind you of this fact today. We understand there's a lot of you that will feel a little bit perplexed in hearing this message from us, but we assure you our intentions are pure and good, and once you is something you can't teach as such. You have to be. So we're wanting to bring to your attention that once you be and remove a lot of those, shall we say, mind programs, subconscious belief systems, and just be, and have that understanding of being, and everything's fine, everything's better than you ever imagined. Trusting also plays a major role in this connection to this vibration. Once you have come to that realization, you will all begin to experience your lives very, very differently. That moment is coming very close to you all. For some, you are already embodying that. For some, you are wanting this to occur. For others, you're going through it, but with limited belief systems. So it stops and starts. Whereas what you will all be endeavoring to move into is that vibration of flow, where there's no boundaries, there's no stops and starts, there just is a knowing. We recommend that you look to some of the native, shall we say, individuals within your culture. They had got it right from the word go. They follow that flow, and they have a knowing, and they trust that knowing. And no matter how ridiculous it seems to the outside world, they ignore that and they go with that feeling. That's what we're talking about here. So thank you for listening. We hope this has given you that inspiration that you need in order to do this inner work, this journey, and connect with these frequencies. Thank you. We're going to pass you on to another communicator who wishes to impart some more information to you.
Thank you for letting me come through. This is the first time for me to do this, and I understand that it may be quite quiet for you listening, but we're doing our best to come through. We want you to know that there will be an uprising soon of external sources being witnessed in your current reality. What we're speaking about is what you would term UFO or extraterrestrial activity in your vibrational alignment. We understand this might sound a little bit unusual to come forward in this transmission to tell you about these things, but we wanted to just let you know that the veil is thinning, and some of these cloaking mechanisms that have been used to hide some of these, shall we say, beings and their craft, their ships, as you would call them. Some of these energies now are being, shall we say, opened up, so you will start to begin to witness flashes of light, seeing different dimensional portals opening up and closing, like a doorway to a lift shaft, something of that nature, where you may all of a sudden see split images in your clouds, in your skies, a quick flash of a shape, of a craft, and the next second it has gone. It will happen very quickly, but you understand that this has got all the telltale signs of those cloaking mechanisms coming to an end, because they cannot hold that vibration in your current reality, in your heightened vibrations that you are all experiencing on your current timeline. Now at one time this was a many thousands of years ago, this was commonplace, this was common sight, that you would see these golden rays of light and craft in the skies. They were termed as gods. The gods are coming. And in actual fact, they are creator spirits, they are creator beings. We want you to remain calm and show that vibration of love in these unusual times for you all, as this veil and cloaking mechanism is going to be lifted. We want to assure you, you have nothing to fear in this process. In fact, it's a very beautiful situation to be in, because you're actually beginning to see the truth of reality. It has been hidden from you for millennia. Now it is time for some of these backdrops to be removed so that you can see the full workings of creation in your present moment consciousness, reality. Thank you for listening to us bringing and imparting this information forward. We understand that for most of you this will sound rather peculiar, and most of you will dismiss the information that we're sharing with you. All we ask of you is that you are to listen and just have an open mind. And it is with having that open mind that some of these encounters that we speak of will become more visible, more, shall we say, real to you in your current reality. And we thank you for listening. It is now time for us to go. We leave you with our love, healing and blessings. We have one more energetic, uprising, sound healing treatment that is going to come through for you to help you connect into this vibration of unconditional love in your present moment reality. Thank you.
What a fantastic transmission again from the world of spirit. Fascinating to hear all of that wisdom coming through. I particularly enjoyed them talking about the vibrations of love, and that it is in abundance, and that it binds us all together. And when we move ourselves out of our mind, out of our own way, and connect to this vibration simply by allowing, we become our true authentic self. And it allows us to step outside of our comfort zones as well by doing this. Fascinating. I love how they said, let the love and healing come through. You know, simply allowing these vibrations will change our lives for the better there. We'll also have a mental state of clarity with the inspiration, with the ideas, with how we think on a daily basis, that will change as a result of us connecting and allowing these vibrations of love and healing to come through as well. And I love the fact that obviously it is available to all, but it's always nice to hear that said, isn't it? To be reminded that these vibrations are everywhere, all around us at any moment in time. And we're just one choice from changing our belief systems around that there. So I love that. I found it particularly fascinating that they said that once you connect with this vibration of love and you have more of an understanding about it, an acceptance, if you will, that not only will your mental state change, but also that your outward appearance, so the way that you appear visually, you'll start to look a lot younger, more youthful in your appearance as a result of connecting and allowing these healing vibrations of love to be your true, authentic self. So that was incredibly fascinating to hear that there as well. And I suppose when we're operating from that vibration of love, we're going to make more different life choices, aren't we? So I would assume that we would change the way that we eat and the foods we consume, the media that we watch and the music we listen to, people we hang out with. All that will change, I should imagine, by connecting to the vibration of love and just having this greater depth of understanding and owning that truth there. So I love the fact that they said we would all get more energy as well. Now, we could all do with that, to help us through our daily lives, couldn't we? So there's lots of benefits by the sounds of it, by simply moving out of our own way and accepting these vibrations of love and healing that are readily available for every single one of us when we make that conscious choice to do so. It was nice to hear as well, again, to be reminded the fact that love always says yes. Love doesn't say, no, you can't have that. And I suppose this connects in with the creator energy, God energy, whatever your belief system is, that that yes is always there. So when we connect in with a vibration of love, everything should be free flowing. There's no roadblocks. There's no hesitation. It just is. There's an acceptance behind it there as well. But by getting out of our own head, out of our own way, will allow us to hold this vibration a lot more strongly there. Now, the other communicator was very interesting, talking about us having an uprising in vibrations in our society, in our reality. And there was talking about UFO and alien energy there. So I found that fascinating because they don't normally talk about this in transmissions, as I'm sure you will have observed from spirit there. But it was interesting them to hear that we're all going to start and notice more of this activity, recognizing the signs as some of the cloaking mechanisms that these crafts and these beings have been using for millennia now are starting to fall away, so that not only is our vibration heightening, their vibrations are, shall we say, those cloaking mechanisms are having to go because of the energy in the atmosphere. The vibration of love is allowing us to see them a lot more. So that was very interesting. And seeing different dimensions as well, different dimensions in our reality, doorways, portals opening up. I can sort of second that because I've been witnessing that for a few weeks, probably a month or so now, more so now than ever before. So that was interesting. And of course, the sound healing at the end there, always incredible. So we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is this week's energy forecast reading. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium. And welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday, the 7th of August, 2023. Now, those of you that watched me work before will know that I connect with my spirit guides and helpers and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot cards. So what I'm about to do is just shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out for this week's energy forecast reading. So here we are. This is your card for this week's forecast reading. I'm now going to link into the energy and vibration of it. First of all, I feel that this week there's lots of changes coming in for you all that are watching this. I feel as though these changes are going to naturally come into your life without any sort of influence from yourself. The only thing that you need to do is to remove yourself out of the way. In other words, stop overthinking, stop second guessing, and trust that the universe has your best interests at heart. There will be a few altercations this week, I feel, with correspondence, people that you know. And I feel as though that there will be a disagreement on some sort of principle or some sort of subject matter. There will be a disagreement there. However, with this being the case, you're not to connect your energy to it. You simply remove yourself away from that vibration and don't give it your time and attention. This way, you'll be keeping yourself in a pure vibration, and you'll be able to be more fruitful in all of your endeavors moving forward. I do sense, though, that there's a lot of tension around you this week as well. And I feel as though that you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure, something to do with finances and also keeping house, keeping a good home there. So watch out for this coming in. I feel with this being the case, you've just got to be a little bit more gentle with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, is what I'm being told to tell you. This week will also see you having some moments where you're revisiting your past in your psychology, in your mind, with your emotions. This week will feel a little bit unusual, the fact that you're revisiting these points in your past that you haven't thought of for quite some time. And there's very good reason why you're going through this process. And it's simply because you're removing those old attachments to those versions of yourself in the past. That's right, you heard me correctly, those old versions of yourself. And I say that because you've come so far since those areas in your life. You've moved on leaps and bounds. You've changed as an individual for the better. And if some of those individuals that you were connected to in your past were to see you now in your now moments, they wouldn't really recognize you as an individual because of how much you've changed. Nevertheless, you are to carry on the pathway that you are walking, as you are helping so many people. Pay attention to your communications this week, as I also feel as though there will be a tendency for people to misinterpret your messages and come away with the wrong information. And this is not your fault entirely. This is not the way that you communicated it. It's just where they're at vibrationally. So they're not seeing the true essence of your message, and they're not understanding the communications as clear as what they should be doing. So simply don't attach yourself to drama with these situations. Allow yourself to still vibrate the vibration of love and light wherever you go. So let's turn over the card for you and go through that. So at the top of the card, it reads 2 of Michael. So I'd like to give you the angel number of number 2 to research, as I feel there's additional support and information for you for this week. I also feel that there's, it feels like there's a counterpart to you coming into your life, whether this is a romantic relationship, whether this is a close friendship. I just feel as though there's a new bonded energy coming into your life this week. So watch out for that, as I feel as though it's going to be beneficial for both parties. Harmonious is the word I'm being given with this interaction there. It says of Michael. So to me, that represents Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael helps to cut and clear cords to past emotions, past energies, which is something that we was talking about earlier, about you letting go of the old version of yourself, as that's not who you are anymore. So watch out for this week. Reading the inscription at the bottom, it says, it will be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem, find a compromise. Now, this goes in line what we were saying earlier about you overthinking, and just to go with the flow a little bit more for this week, because otherwise you will basically stand in your own way from these beautiful energies coming into your life. I say beautiful energies because I do feel as though there's some opportunities coming your way, and it feels like a close companionship that's coming in very strongly this week. So be aware of this energy, as I feel as though it's for the betterment for you and other parties involved. Looking into the artwork of the card, around the edge we've got the color of blue. To me, when I see blue, it indicates flow and going with the flow. Stop resisting change and allow yourself to be blessed by the universe. You've put the hard work in, you've said your prayers, you've done all the intentional work. Now's the time for you to just relax and trust and go with the flow. Also, blue to me indicates emotions. So letting those emotions come up to the surface rather than holding deep onto them, because this will only hold you back from accomplishing whatever endeavors that you are focusing on at this moment in time. Blue also indicates the throat chakra and communication. Again, we were saying about your communications being misinterpreted this week. So try to be as clear as you can. And before you send any messages or before you communicate with anybody else, maybe think of what you're going to say, the key points. And then that way, when you place that information out into the ether, you know that you've done your best in communicating clearly and openly, as opposed to just coming out with it and just saying it. This way it will help you. Looking into the artwork of the card, we've got 2 unicorns in the center. Again, that would go in alignment with the angel number of number 2 for you to research. Unicorns, to me, they're a mythical creature, aren't they, as well? And they have a horn in the center of their forehead there where the third eye is. To me, that indicates inspiration coming your way this week. In those quiet moments, those times of reflection, notice that you're just going to get some eureka moments where these ideas are just going to flood in. When they do, make sure that you're remembering them or taking notes, writing them down or recording them so that you can amend them and address them in a future time when you have that capability to do so. Also, the unicorn to me represents uni. Let's look at that word. Uni represents learning, like a university. There's some learning for you coming in this week as well. And I feel as though it's on a soul path level, something to do with your heart, your emotions, and a soul path level. Some learning coming in for you. Also, uni represents one as well, oneness, divine oneness. So it's about you connecting to your true authentic self, that divine oneness, and allowing yourself to be okay with that, allowing yourself to trust that this is who you are in this moment, and you should be proud of all of your endeavors that you've done in order to get you to this point in your life. So also, both of these unicorns are white there. White would indicate purity, would indicate spirit, influence from spirit. It would indicate some sort of connection, like we said earlier, to another individual, a counterpart coming into your life this week. So know that this is spirit meant and it's spirit sent, and just embrace this energy. Don't try to overthink it or second guess it, because otherwise you'll unravel the situation and you'll start to stand in your own way. Just go with the flow and you'll be glad that you did. Both of these unicorns are wearing like a blue sash over their backs. So to me, blue again would represent communication. Communication is equal. Communication is equal between both counterparts there. These new energies coming in. And also it would indicate that you need to communicate about your past to one another moving forward. There's beautiful light in this card as well there. So that indicates lots of new blessings. It's on a beach. It's telling you to be sure of yourself, be more confident. So that's what I picked up for this week's energy forecast reading. And I hope that helps you and aligns with you. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on here and you would like to buy me a coffee, which is a virtual tip jar, then please see the link in the description or above this video, and all of your donations will be gratefully received and used to help me to continue to do the work that I do to help as many people as possible. If you would like a one-to-one private reading with myself, head over to my website, www.glenboddispiritualmedium.com, or find me on Facebook, Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium. In the meantime, see me on my website, see me on my radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, www.pulsetalkradio.com.
Well, there's lots to consider for this week's forecast reading. I hope the information aligns with you and helps you through the course of this week. If you have any show suggestions, any stories you would like to share with the listeners, please contact me at www.glenboddispiritualmedium.com or glenboddice@live.co.uk. It'd be wonderful to hear them, and if you're happy for me to read them out on the show, that would be even better there. So whatever it is you're doing this week, I hope you have a fantastic one. And I look forward to tuning in and being with you same place, same time next Monday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time
on pulsetalkradio.com. God bless. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium